Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a long overdue new episode of Armchair Keepers of Arcane Secrets.
That's right. You thought we'd gone away, but we're back. We're back.
You were hoping, right, that the wheels of fate had consumed us.
That's right. The
But
stars had aligned, and we'd been consumed by the elder things.
but we're not. We are here. We're in your living room. My buddy Jay is watching this on his giant HD TV in
That's a
his living room
choice.
with his lovely wife Paula. Hi, gang. Thanks for subscribing. Bob, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Matt. I'm fantastic. Fresh. Can you tell? This is
You've
the
got a
Gen
glow.
Con
You've
glow.
you've got, yeah, like a fresh out of a con glow.
That's right. That's right. It is. It's always. I'm always that way, right? Again, I truly get all my batteries recharged at a con. They get drained and recharged at the same time. It's
Yes.
Gen Con was fantastic.
An elevator of emotions. Now, because of various things going on in my life, I was not able to go to Gen Con this year. So, Bob, you're going to have to fill me and the home viewers in. How was Gen Con 2025, which also happened to be the 50th anniversary of Chaosium?
That's right, Matt. It's fantastic. Okay, so again, you two can Cthulhu, my side hustle thing. We ran, I think, 38 events at Gen Con. We had a fantastic time, Matt. We
Let's do some math. You seat seven at a table.
Yep,
What's
that's right.
38 times seven?
That's a
A
lot.
lot.
That's
It's a
Nobody
lot.
said we were going to be doing math in this, man. There were no math warnings. That's like a trigger thing for me, right?
Math. This was maths of Nyarlathotep today.
Oh, I did lose some sanity there. Needless to say, we of all the opportunities, we only were short in total 16 players. 16
If
players.
I was good at math or had like a computer, then I
Yes.
would I would figure out the ratio. But that sounds excellent. That
Yeah,
sounds
no, it
excellent.
was great. It was great. I mean, we have Gen Con does us right. We are in the Lucas Oil Stadium
Mm-hmm.
suites. Each of
Mm-hmm.
our games plays in a separate room, so it's a private experience. The doors are shut. It's quiet. We can control the lighting. We can control
It's
the sound.
posh. It's posh.
It's very nice. It's very nice. So we take advantage of that, and we try our darndest to make sure that our players have a great time with our sessions, and we have a blast too. So lots of happy players. I personally met one subscriber and witnessed in person two people subscribe to the channel. So
They fired up their personal
they
pocket
did.
computers
They did.
and subscribed right in front of you.
And we are up to a staggering,
Don't say
bogglingly.
it.
I'm not going to say it. You don't want to say
Don't
it?
say it.
I want to say
Well,
it.
there's some magic number where I'm supposed to eat a raw liver,
That's right.
and
That's right.
we're inching towards that.
That's right. That's 150 subscribers, and we are already at 128. So if you want to see Matt Ryan devour a beef liver, I know I do. Just keep going, keep going. But
A beef liver. Can you still, when I was a kid, you could go into the market and buy cow tongue in a jar.
yep, I remember that.
Remember the cow tongue?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about that. There may be some wiggle rooms on the liver, but I need to show
We
you
should.
all the cool stuff I got from Gen Con,
This is the
including
booty. This is Bob's booty.
this hat, this
Okay, lean in there.
fantastic Call of Cthulhu hat with this little dangly thing here, this little
Wonderful.
Chaosium dangly thing, which
Oh, that's
I
wonderful.
don't know if I'm supposed to keep it on the hat or not, but I will
You
for
are.
now.
You are.
And then I
It
picked
goes
this
well with
up.
that shirt too.
Yeah, and they loan against the static by our good friend Mr. Holland, right? This is an Emmy award-winning
EW.
product. Pick this up, and these are great. These are great little, if you have a quiet evening alone, just to run through this.
Yes. Now that also won an Origins Award. I think it won an Origins Award for best supplement this year.
Wow. Oh, I think it was last year probably, but in any case,
It was at the Origins you were just at, the one
no,
you
that
were
was
just at.
Order of the Stone, or another one, the other one. But regardless, and I also
Regardless.
picked this up. This is
Oh, look at That's the
Yeah,
Sutra of Pale Leaves. Yes, that's volume 2, right?
volume
Because the
two.
Sutra of Pale Leaves.
Yes, I haven't even cracked this guy open. It's still in the
Wait,
shrink.
wait, here now. Let me. The viewers love when I move through the studio.
They do. We've had stories about it, right? Yeah,
Here's thank God I'm wearing pants today. Here's the Sutra of Pale Leaves number 1.
that's right.
Twin Suns Rising, still in the shrink. As you can
Yep.
see, mine is still in the shrink.
Yes, absolutely. And we were lucky, Matt, Jason Sheets and Ben, I can't remember Ben's last name, but they from the Sons of Singularity, the authors of this and the other volume, ran games for me. They ran
Oh,
games for me.
how
Yes,
was now that was a game that they wrote. Yes, they
absolutely.
brought the
Yes.
game.
Sassoon Files book, volume two. They ran two scenarios from that, and then they ran fanfic from Pale Sutra of the Pale Leaves, volume one. And I got to participate as an NPC. I wore this freaky looking white mask and walked into the room like unannounced and like got into players' faces, and they were like, "Security, security." But it was super fun. It was super fun.
Now, did they run it together like two
Yeah,
keepers?
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I
Interesting.
mean, we dabble in that. We dabble in that, but not
You
all.
two can Cthulhu. Yeah, you do. You do.
We have
You
multiple
do.
GMs. Yeah,
Yeah. Your stuff is kind of LARPy,
a
but
little
but
bit. Oh yeah,
but multiple GMs isn't necessarily LARPy. Anyways,
it was fantastic, Matt. It was fantastic. We had a great time. And hopefully we made some players happy. And gave them something to think about besides all their crazy stuff going on in their lives.
yeah.
We got them to think about the crazy stuff that was going on at the table.
I'll bet you made a lot. I bet you made 38 times 7 minus 16 players happy.
That's right. That's right. That is a formula there. I
Maybe somebody in the comments later when this sucker airs can. Bob, bad news. I didn't start the timer when the show started, so I don't know when we can start swearing.
Oh yeah, I got it. I got it.
You'll give me the sign?
Oh yeah. Not
All
yet,
right.
but oh yeah.
Now, folks, I know you love listening to Bob and I rap about conventions, but that's not why you tuned in. You tuned in for masks
That's right.
and where we are in our personal campaigns.
Yep. Yep. So I had just because I've been on a long hiatus. I have not played Mask since July 10th, and I won't play Mask again until this Thursday. So I've been on and we were still in England at this point. So yeah.
That's not awful. That's not
No.
awful. We're going to do because I have played, I think, just one time. I think I've just played one time in the interim, and we'll give the recap of that third Cairo session for me, and then you and I can talk about what we're planning because you're playing Thursday
Yes.
and I'm playing Friday, and this is what is this this is the first week of August, folks.
Yep.
So
Yep.
calibrate your clocks. Speaking of calibrating clocks, none of my players have noticed the synchronized clock pieces in any of the chapters of Masks so far.
Really
We
interesting.
didn't they didn't spend enough time in the basement of the Juju house to
Mhm.
notice the ticking clock.
Yep.
They as soon as they found the first juicy clue at Mizir house,
Yeah.
they didn't check for other juicy clues, and they never went up into Gavigan's bedroom,
Okay.
so they didn't see the clock. And the third clock, I don't want to give it away. The third clock is in speaking like it's all spoilers, folks. Everybody knows spoiler. Okay. The third clock is in Omar's living room or study,
Sure.
and I don't think my players are going to go there.
Wow. No, my players, I was really thrilled because in running masks in the past, the clock has always been ignored. However, this time they did notice the clock in the Juju house. And I believe, if I recall correctly, they took the clock with them, right? There was nothing left at Juju house. It was a smoking ruin when they were done, but I think they took the clock.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really is. It'll be neat to see if they bring in more of these science elements, the rocket, the clock, all of that stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck it up. That's the first thing they're gonna do. I hope we're at the 6 minute mark here.
We definitely are. We are. Fuck yeah, we are.
They're going to fuck it up. They're going to go, hey, we tried to take the clock apart. I'm like, okay, perfect. You fucked it up.
Yeah, well, again, that's fine. I mean, again, really, what the best thing to do? I mean, it's interesting if they fiddle with the clock and leave it there, that can jack things up, right?
Yeah. 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 All right. Well, I'm going to give you my, so I'm 3 sessions into Cairo and I'm going to give you the lowdown.
Man, I'm so far behind.
I was thinking about this morning when I brushed my teeth. You know what I don't, when I'm running a game, I come from a television background and we do a lot of editing in television, right? To make things tight, make things run smoothly. So I don't give my players the opportunity to just go do whatever the fuck they want.
Mm,
I just don't. Like if they say, hey, maybe there's a clue down at the zoo. Let's go watch the tigers. I'm like, yeah, that happens. Then what do you do? I mean, I let them do that, but we're not going to spend time doing
yeah,
that. Time is our most valuable commodity. Here I've got my great friends. We're sitting around a table. We've got like 3 hours. We're not going to fuck around with tigers at the zoo. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know. It's there is a certain, especially these long delays are killing me, man, because it's one step forward, two steps back as we try to recap and move forward. So it's incremental progress that I'm dealing with. It's like,
Well, yeah, incremental when we're not playing, but then when we're at the table, man, huge jumps. And my players have made some huge jumps.
yeah,
Going into this last session, right? They talked to some of the main people to talk to in Cairo. They talked
yep,
to the newspaper guy and
yep,
they got clippings. And here we go. We're gonna hype our buddies Sean and Andrew's skills at the HPL Historical Society.
yep,
There's a clipping from the Cairo Bulletin or whatever the newspaper is called with a photograph of the Carlisle expedition, and it's great. It's just great to have a photo. And when I put that out in front of the players, they were all, like, oh, here's this person. Oh, look, here's this person. Here's this person. Oh, look. Ooh, look, this Omar person we've been warned against is
yeah.
here. Oh, that can't be good. And Bob, you would be thrilled at this news. One of my players said, hey, wasn't there another woman with the expedition? How come
Ah,
she's not in the picture?
that's right. The mysterious Imuru. Where is she?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And I thought, oh, that Bob will be pleased when I tell him that. Are you pleased?
I am very pleased. Yes, I am very pleased. I mean, because she's the puppet master. She's the puppet master.
She is. Right. She's the one, she's the link between the Nyarlathotep initially. And then it
Yeah.
became, I don't know, one of them, the psychiatrist or whatever the
Yeah, yeah.
therapist.
But I mean, she's the major player. She brought it all together.
She brought it all together. Yes. If we were going to use a religious analogy, she's the Mary of the mythos.
She is. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, again, she's the matriarch of this whole thing. I mean, all these other little cult leaders. I mean, granted, she's over the bloody tongue, but she's also driving the overall objective of Nyarlathotep's plot across
Yes,
that spans all of the cults. So,
it is true. All right. So my players, they talked to Nazul or whatever the guy is, the guy that stole the items and they talked to the newspaper guy. They went and they got the Eye of Light and Darkness,
yep,
part one. They got
yep,
half of that in Al Wasa.
that's right.
So they had all of this stuff. And again, I had 5 players instead of my regular 7.
Yeah.
So that old adage, the fewer players, the more gets done, right? So they had a couple of auctions. They wanted to go talk to Kafur at the museum
Hmm.
or roll out to the plantation and check out Omar.
Yeah.
They did not want to go talk to Omar, which was oh, 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 and then the hashish dude, the
Yep.
guy
Yep.
Besant, I
Yep.
think Besant, who had seen the ritual. All
That's
right,
right.
okay, so the Besant thing kind of plays out by itself because I'm using the HPLHS props. There's a lengthy audio piece of Besant's recounting what happened.
Okay.
So I just said, okay, we're gonna play this. It's 10 minutes long. He's a junkie, he's all fucked up. There's not gonna be a lot of interaction. And I
Mm,
just told my players there's not a lot more to get out of than this.
Hmm.
So listen to this. They liked that quite a bit.
Yeah.
They liked the audio recording quite a bit, and they picked up the few important pieces, right? That
Perfect.
you're supposed to, but they'd already had the Eye of Light and Darkness, so
Okay.
it wasn't super crucial. Then they went and they talked to the dude at the museum.
Yeah.
Zafar, is
Yeah.
that it?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. And he's in charge of the occult division. So I just really occulted it up. He kept mentioning how much he loved the occult. And as soon as they mention the occult, they're all like vast friends, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I had to, going into the session, I had to figure out the deal with the pyramids because I don't really know the Egyptian
Sure.
pyramids. There's a lot of them, there's like a fucking hundred of them. And there's two, kind of three, but really two key ones. So
Yep.
to figure that out, I did my little sketch here of Cairo and where the pyramids are, and and then I gave this as a prop to Kafur, and he would just explain it. He'd say, "Well, the Giza's up here, and the one that the Carlisle finds something in, and that's this little one over here, and then the bent one is way down here, and right."
Yeah.
Behind the
That's awesome.
scenes, the bent one is where they can meet Nyarlathotep himself, which I don't think I can skip. I think that
Oh
scene
yeah, that's
has to
important.
happen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, but the great chamber of Nyarlathotep is underground here at Giza,
Oh wow.
and that's kind of the climax.
Yeah. It can be.
That's where the five-headed Sphinx shows up.
That's a thing you don't want to miss, right?
I mean, what you gotta kind of weigh it out.
Well, it's one of those things. We've talked about this many times in this. It's a ceremony, right? There's a ceremony there, and it's tempting to do the ceremonies, but you don't want to spend all your. It's like another ceremony. You don't necessarily want to spend all your ceremony bullets, frivolously. So I mean, it is. I mean, I haven't honestly. I'm still working through England, so I really haven't prepped and reviewed for Cairo. But again, it's one of those deals where it's like I want that scene to happen, but maybe there's a way to restructure that scene so it's not a ceremony, or it's not like a ceremony per se, but maybe some other sort of cult gathering, right? Some other rite, as opposed to a party where they're all together and dancing around. And because again, it's very rote. I mean, the players infiltrate this cult ceremony. They do it surreptitiously to see the thing. They're going to do the same thing when they get to Kenya. And do we want to lessen the impact of that scene by having it repeat? I mean, effectively, they could have done the same thing at Mizir House. They could do the same thing at Cairo, and they can do the same thing at Kenya.
Remember, the main author back in the day was a screenwriter.
Yep.
Remember that. He didn't like it's great, but he's not trained as a scenario writer
Exactly.
or an interactive
Right. Right.
experience.
You can see how cinematic those scenes would be, right?
Exactly,
But
exactly. So
yeah.
so in Cairo, one of those scenes is gonna if you were to do both scenes, if I'm gonna do both scenes, one has to precede the other,
Yep.
which will automatically make the second one the climax.
Yep.
Um, oh, I don't know. Something just happened with my machine, but we're still rolling, so I'm not going to worry about it. Um,
Absolutely.
right. Okay. So let me do this quick little recap of number three. Okay, so they talk to the museum dude, and they say, "Hey, we're thinking about going to check out these two pyramids," which I thought, "Oh, that's great, that's great." And then they said, "You want to come with us?" And I thought, hmm, we could have some die rolls happen,
Hmm.
right? Or I could just say yes.
All right. Well, again, it sounds like you set him up to say yes.
Well, I hadn't thought about it, but I thought if he goes, he can read the hieroglyphics because they can't read any
Hmm.
hieroglyphics, and there's clues in the
Okay.
hieroglyphics.
Yeah, sure.
So he's like, "Sure, I'll go. I'll go." Okay,
Yeah, absolutely. He can also be a convenient red shirt if something dramatic needs to happen.
that's correct. Okay. The other interesting bit was at some point they're out in the crowd, and I brought Zahar Shakti back into the scene.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking she's here from England. They're going to
Mhm.
have this big raise the dead queen ceremony.
Yeah.
She wants to take part in that. And I want to see what the players do if they see her in the crowd, especially since they dragged
Alicia, sure.
Yalisha. They dragged Yalisha with them.
Yeah.
So I knew Yalisha's going to want to murder this woman immediately, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, again, I think it would be one of those things where it's like have her seen in the crowd. You think you see her. I mean, again, you could just do it to amp up the paranoia.
Exactly. So that's what happened. There she is in the crowd. I asked the players. Oh, and the party had split up. Two of them had gone in to talk to the rug merchant to interview
Oh, yeah.
Basant, and the other two were outside. And then I had a fifth player. But the two that were guarding the door saw her, and I asked them what they did, and they took off after her.
Oh, oh, nice.
So they're immediately lost in the streets. And I have a few favorite things I like to do in a game. I like to have people make navigate rolls because I've yet to meet a player who spends any points in navigate.
That's right. That's right.
So they're immediately lost. They immediately have a shootout with some of the cult members.
Oh, okay.
Zahara splits. She's not going to linger around. I'm not going to do any of that big, heavy spell bullshit.
Okay.
But we've got some cultists with some clubs, some gunplay. No real consequences. I figure they can melt into the distance. All right, okay, I got to wrap this up here. So they go to the first, just down along the Nile. The first pyramid they hit is the one at Giza, and they find the secret passageway, and they go down into the great chamber of Nyarlathotep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I got to tell you, setting the scene for that is fun because with the pillars that sort of
Yeah.
weave into branches above, way above, and when you look, they sort of sway back and forth.
Yeah.
That freaked the players out. The stairway, the misty red stairway to hell.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't like that. And then, like, it's getting later and later in the session. And then right at the close, because I like to end on a cliffhanger hanger while they're all sort of looking, and the chamber's huge. They haven't explored it all. As they're all sort of slowly moving deeper into the chamber, following Kafur, who's like, he wants to see everything there is to see. Some children of the Sphinx come charging out of the darkness towards them from behind them.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh
we
my God.
ended so they don't know how many there are. I don't know how many there are. I don't know what I want to happen or what I want to lead them into. I don't know if I immediately want to start with a combat.
Mhm.
I will figure that out talking with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so are the, is there a bunch of people there or just a few?
Of the players, there's 5 players there, but and
No,
I
no, no. I'm talking
think
about of the cultists and everything.
I don't know. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, am I going to have So here's, and now we're moving into prep for this coming session, right?
Yeah.
Sitting in the chamber, just stock is the mummy. The missing mummy in
Yeah.
her sarcophagus is sitting there.
Hmm.
Maybe, probably not, with 2 of the 3 magic gigas needed to raise her from the dead.
So have it sounds like your players have snuck in prior to any sort of ceremony action.
That's correct. That's
And
correct.
I think what would be a really cool scene is having the children of the Sphinx rush in as an apparent threat, right? But then just kind of move past the players, right? Freak them out, make them lose sanity, but have them like rush up to the mummy or something like that. Give your players the opportunity to flinch, right? And if they flinch and start some combat, then combat ensues. But give them an opportunity to just kind of be freaked out by them and have them there, right? Because then it becomes a different sort of a problem, right? It's like they're there, they're not threatening me now, but if I do something foolish, they may be threatening them. Just to give your players more things to sort through.
That's a good idea. And the chamber's huge.
Right.
They can't see all of it with their little. Oh, they've got torches too, of course. And in great Indiana Jones fashion, they have
Yeah.
torches.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we could just have, yeah, I'll just have a mob of them run by the
Yeah.
players because they haven't discovered the lava pit yet. I also thought it would be cool to have other cultists drag a sacrifice in, not lava, leech,
Yes. Yes.
and throw a sacrifice in the leech pit. Oh, it'd be a wonderful sight to see.
Yes. Like their hands all like reaching out, covered with leeches.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
nice.
And then there's the sarcophagus, and I don't think I'm going to put the other gewgaws there to raise her from the dead. I think I'm just going to skip all that bit, and then at the very end of the chamber is the big black hole
Yes.
that the Sphinx during the ceremony comes out of,
That's right.
but also links to the hidden chamber in the bent pyramid.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think what I might try to engineer is to get one of them in that hole and just have them magically sucked in to the bent pyramid.
Have one of them.
One of them with like maybe like a tunnel or something for more of them to go.
Sure. I think it works either way, right? I mean, because again, what happens to the bent pyramid is they have a one-on-one with Nyarlathotep, right?
Yes.
So I think that that plays either way, right? I mean, if you have one player and they go sidebar that session, right, with that player, tell them what happens outside of the rest of the group, and that player comes in and they have to they have to interpret what they experience, right? And so it's going to be crazy and disjointed, and the other players will go, "Is that for real? Did that really happen?" I think it's great. I think it's great.
Interesting. We're playing at my friend Meredith's house.
Oh, nice.
And they've got this great place that their place is great. It's a mansion kind of, it's like old school Victorian sort of
Oh
stuff
my
with these
gosh.
big rooms. It's really, really sweet. But there's an adjoining room that's large enough that I could take one or two players off. I
Oh,
don't normally do that though.
you should. You
I
should.
don't normally I normally stay at the table.
Well, you got to, I mean, it's nice for giving, I don't know. I do it regularly. If anybody is foolish enough to go off by themselves, then they get a private little session. And sometimes information is conveyed because I don't want them to hear it from my lips. I want them to hear it from the other players, because again, I love as a player. If a GM gives me information, I will synthesize that information back to the other players through
You're
the
very good at
experiences of
that.
my character.
Well, I've played with Bob, and Bob is a very good role player.
Thank you. Thank you.
We had a discussion the other day about the difference between a good role player and a good player.
Yes.
Uh, and it was an interesting discussion. I don't know if I want to get into it.
For another topic. Yeah.
Another time. Oh, Bob and I have big plans for other topics, folks.
That's right.
Okay. So all right. So going into Friday's session, we're at 22 minutes on my timer that I started late. So we're going deep, Bob. But going into Friday's session is I think I'm going to have the mob of children of the Sphinx monsters run by them,
Hmm.
put them in the same huge room in the
Yep.
dark with them, and see what they do.
I think it's a great idea. And I can I talk about my prep that I have? Because I'm
Please do.
trying to catch
Please
up.
do.
Trying to
Because
catch
you're
up.
going into session number 4 with England.
Yeah. In
And this
England, right?
should be the capper.
I should, but again, my players completely derailed everything last time by going to the Pinhu Foundation for a little bit of a look around. But
Next, they're going to go to the zoo. They're going to want to, hey, maybe there's
they're
clues
not
in
going to
the
the
zoo.
zoo. They're at Hinson Manufacturing, so we're going to try to do that there. So what? But I have two potential complications, Matt Ryan. Two potential complications. You know what those complications are? Two players who are interested in joining, right? Interested in joining, yes. So I'm
Back it up.
working.
Back it up. Are these people that I know? Is it part of your group?
This is no. These are okay. So one is a Kit. Do know Kit? It's Kit's cousin, and the kid Colin. It's Colin's friend, right? So again, I'm very anxious to bring in young blood to the group, right? So I definitely want to bring. And again, I know Sean, who is Kit's cousin, and I met Aiden, who is Colin's friend. Both great guys.
And
Bring
you
them in.
played with Aiden, though.
Yes,
Aiden
I ran
played
into
with
him
you in a
before.
game, and you gave him the magic.
Yep,
He
yep.
saw the magic of a masterful keeper running a brilliant role-playing game
Well,
called
I
Cthulhu.
appreciate that. He saw something. He saw me doing that. I don't know who this brilliant keeper is, but regardless,
Well,
uh,
what he saw, he wants more of.
so that. But again, so I have to try to figure out, all the logistics, just getting them here and then getting their characters brought in, and then we have to do the of all the information that is masks. But so it just occurred to me, literally just popped in my head. If I do that, you know what I think I'll do? I'll
I heard it. I
mandate
heard it pop in.
characters to them. They will be playing people who work at Henson Manufacturing, right? They will
They're
be
right there.
playing, because again, there's some cultists and then there's some, true blue, factory people who believe that they're doing work for the crown and country,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they could just do that.
There,
So
there, there's your answer. Now that's going to move you to 7 players.
I know, but again, that's no big deal. I do 7 players all the time,
You
right?
do 7 players all the time.
I'll have to bring in another chair, but that's the only challenge. But both Aiden and Sean are
You have to
small.
take it out of the living room. Is all of a sudden there's going to be a missing dining room chair?
It'll be fine. We can accommodate. We can accommodate. So let me see. But and then I'm going to try to wrap up England there. But again, that's going to be tricky, especially if you're bringing in new players, right?
Are you going to Mizir House?
I want them to because there's stuff to do at Mizir House, and that's the whole plan. Remember, for my group, they were going to Henson Manufacturing as a basically an excursion because the stuff's going down at Mizir House in 3 days, and they're only on day 2, I think,
You
because
know
of
what I think I would do? I think I'd pull Frank Marshall. Is that the dude's name?
yep.
I'd pull him out of the mix
Why?
because if combat ensues, that's an hour at the table to
Yeah,
run through that combat. And if they're just getting the Hensons, right? There's going to be interaction. There's going to be poking around. There's going to be getting in. That eat up's clock time.
yeah, for sure.
There's cool clues, and then if they have to get to the, and they will get the clues. If they have to
Yeah.
spend a lot of game time to get to the clues, it's
I
going to
think
eat into
so.
Mizir House.
Yeah, no, if I go with the plan of having, somebody from Henson as one of the player characters who's turned, then that player character can be an easy cooperative conduit for the information to the other players. Oh, this really? What? And so that sort of thing. I'll play through it. I'll work through this, but I think that's a good plan to get them on board. Maybe they've been suspicious. Maybe there's been some strange things that they don't like. And then they can learn about something. I don't know. Maybe
Things
they'll.
don't add up. So yeah, somehow things don't add up. Or like maybe, they saw Gavigan come over for a meeting or something and they sat in the other room and they were eating worms or something.
Yeah,
Who
something like that.
knows?
Something they don't like this posh English dude coming in from London, and getting all chummy with Frank, and Frank's acting all weird. And then what I'll do is I'll take, because I have all the staff. They'll get to pick one of the players. One of the other players will get is their best buddy in the whole wide world, and he gets killed by Frank in the melee, right? Something like that. Yeah. Okay, so I'll figure that out. That's great. That's inspiration. Okay. So, but we are way over time. We are way
We
over
are.
time, Matt Ryan. So we need
Okay,
to
so
wrap
okay,
this. We need to land this thing.
folks, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, share this sucker around if you can. Bob and I do not have a huge social media presence, so if you can push this to other platforms for us, we'd be very appreciative.
Yes.
Because I didn't go to Gen Con, I still got a whole bag of Armchair Keeper buttons. Look at that.
Oh yeah. Game hole.
Arm, Armchair Keeper. We're going to be the plan is that Bob and I are going to be at Game Hole. If you're going to go into Game Hole, we'll happily hand you a button, and maybe we can think of another way to get people buttons. We haven't
Right.
figured that out yet.
All right. We're going to do another one of these things soon because we have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about, and we've got a lot of people. We're lucky. We have a lot of people that want to be on the show, and that thrills us. So Stay glued to the channel, friends, and we'll see you next time.